Hello, my lovely friends, and welcome to this Harvest Full Moon Pick a Card reading. If you don't know me already, my name is Haylee. I am a Life Path 11 teacher, guide, and life path seeker. I have decided to do this full moon pick a card reading as just a birthday favor from me. Happy birthday to me. I've just had an absolutely wonderful birthday this year, 2024. And I spent the eve of my birthday walking my dogs along the beach front and collecting these four beautiful pieces of driftwood that we found just before we left the beach. I decided to do this full moon pick a card reading in lieu of my birthday and in lieu of the fact that tomorrow is the harvest full moon, which is all to do with new beginnings and endings, and more importantly, endings and beginnings. So we're going to start one by one. We're going to start with pile 1, then pile 2, then pile 3, sorry, pile 4, so on. Okay, so before we start, we're just going to do a brief cleanse of a Pali Santor. And I do urge you, while this is going down, to please take a moment, take a deep breath, and to decide which pile you would like to pick, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. Once you've decided your pile, you're just going to have to manually skip through this video to find your pile, and we'll see you all soon. Okay, let's begin. Okay, so hello my pile ones. If you picked the pile 1 with the white ashy driftwood stick, then this is your pile, and so we'll start at the top of the deck. Excuse me. And so you can see that this pile starts with knowledge. Now, knowledge is all to do with that this pile is calling people to assess their knowledge about themselves in deeper and broader ways. Deeper and broader ways meaning, how well have you truly been understanding yourself recently and everything that makes you up as a person? These things are important. Knowing ourselves is truth and knowing ourselves is power. Do not take this lightly. This is a time for understanding yourself as deeply and intricately as you can through balancing your masculine and feminine energies. Now, balancing your masculine and feminine energies can be done in various ways. You can try yoga practices, you can do meditations for this. There are various ways that you can deepen your knowledge about yourself. However, you are warned at the end of this reading to be careful with what you do discover about yourself over this full moon. This is private and personal work. It is not for others, and it is something you should deal with discernment and practicality, ensuring that you are looking after your personal knowledge that is broadening about yourself as you work on yourself through yoga and meditative practices, on broadening yourself through understanding yourself deeper as a masculine feminine being. Thank you, pile number 1. Okay, so next we have pile number 2. Excuse me, I'm doing this in bed. It's my birthday eve. And pile 2, you have got your, this is actually just a really typical stick that happened to be on the beach. So if you picked a normal type of stick, that's perfectly fine. Pile 2, pile 2 I think has a longer reading than the rest of the piles. It's got 4 cards. However, there's a reason. We will have a look very quickly. Okay, so this pile 2, is really a pile of reckoning. If you have picked this pile, you are in for a very, I would say personally, volatile full moon. This pile is to do with new beginnings, but they are new beginnings through action, new beginnings that will be created through the relinquishment of defects you find in the following areas over the full moon through careful self-examination and through watching yourself, almost as in like through self-coaching. You could consider counseling, you could consider self-counseling, just tracking yourself really. So what are we talking about? Well, we're starting with the emotions card reversed. So the emotions card reversed, we're looking at examining our core traits with nasty habits, addictions, um, senses of anything that is just not working emotionally or logically in our lives, where we've got to start working on detaching. Through this action, you'll be working physically on detaching from these patterns and disciplinarily moving out of these setbacks that are holding you back emotionally. The second set would be your Queen of Earth. Now, this is all to do with control patterns, control patterns within relationships. How have you been controlling others, and how have you been perhaps over stifling or mistreating others in ways that is unnecessary, allowing yourself to reconsider how tightly you hold on to others, how willing you are to step back and allow others to show you their own ways, and how they are within their relationships with you, utilizing again detachment, not just with your emotions but with your relationships. And lastly, we have the acceptance, the final process, which is the acceptance that all is as it's meant to be, working on deepening your appreciation and relinquishing unappreciation, relinquishing a sense of hollowness, releasing these logged black emotions. It really is shadow work, allowing the sense of positivity and abundance rather to wash over back into your life through proactively removing these shadow attributes. Good luck, pile 2, and thank you so much for listening. Okay, and on to pile 3. Hello, pile 3. You have selected this black piece of driftwood, then this is your pile 3. Please remember these are general readings, but please do try to take out of it what the message is. So, pile 3, there are 3 cards of pile 3. Now, pile 3, your entire reading is to do with usually the type of people who spend a lot of time working on their knowledge or skills. If you are a teacher or somebody who works in education or works in any field of education, this is no surprise, or even if you're a student yourself. Now, this reading is to do with that this full moon is going to be largely to do with your knowledge and education. It is vitally important over this full moon that you educate yourself well on subjects that empower you to not end up in a situation where you are making wrongful assumptions about situations. Now, this could be in regard to perhaps you may be having some legal issues coming up in the future. You could also be having some political issues and, yes, legal issues coming up in the future, where you're going to need to have the knowledge and the skills to be able to handle these situations tactfully and with the correct type of information to not end up in some serious peril or trouble. So it's vitally important that you prepare yourself well. And the Ace of Air reversed is also about just ensuring that you are preparing yourself well in these areas, and ensuring that your knowledge is accurate and is not going to end up all over the place. So really, this full moon for you, pile 2, is in a nutshell about ensuring that your knowledge is accurate, that you have studied everything to avoid making assumptions, and to ensure that you're going to move forward smoothly from this full moon, with full knowledge and full understanding of where you are at and where you need to go to in your knowledgeable pursuits, as well as your knowledge about matters that you think you know all of, but perhaps you need to actually know a lot more about it. It's a time for examination of your knowledge and examination of your understandings of important matters pertaining to you personally. And lastly, we have pile number 4. Hello, pile number 4. So pile number 4, if you pick this piece of white driftwood, then this is your pile. And this pile also has 3... I think I might have the wrong pile. Oh, sorry. No, I picked the wrong... Oops, sorry, there was some real mix up there. Sorry, that was pile one or pile two. Sorry, I'm a little tired. This is pile four. Okay, so pile four, if you pick this grey piece of driftwood, sorry for that mistake, then this is your pile. So for pile four, we start with this card, this card, this card, there's three cards. Okay, so your first card is to do with that at this stage, moving into this harvest full moon, which starts tomorrow, you are finding yourself in a place where you have recently relinquished things that are no longer serving you, and you find yourself in a sudden sense of alignment and sort of a, like tranquility and like a zen state, pretty much, where you are in the moment, you're no longer shackled down by your past, and you're pretty chill and pretty in line with what is going on in the now, right at this moment during this full moon phase. And the King of Water, oddly enough, he represents the masculine of this. So, if you are either a person, if you're a female watching this, it could be that this is literally a male partner who is at this time actually representing a supportive partner for you during this time while you're going through this, like in the moment, tranquil stage through this full moon period. Or it could be that you need a masculine advisor or friend to assist you during this full moon phase, while you're going through this sort of zen in the moment experience during the full moon. The last card is the child reversed, which represents your innermost child defects, letting go of inner child patterns that are no longer serving you, and being aware of your inner child emotions that you no longer need, that no longer serve you. You've already let go of everything enough to be in the moment and to be in the now. You will have this masculine advisor, friend, partner, counselor to guide you along the way. However, being in the moment is not the end of the journey, because when you're in the moment, you still work further on your inner child. You still can work further on further blockages even when you're in the moment, such as blockages that are to do with how you value yourself as a person. And the way we value ourselves as adults tends to become, how do we say this, barriered when we don't do that inner child work, that helps us to connect our adult selves to our child further, so that we're a more whole version of who we are in that moment. So I would strongly suggest for you, pile 3, to consider doing inner child therapy. You can try out even inner child meditations through YouTube. Really wishing you the best of luck and a very happy new full moon, harvest moon. Okay, so thank you so much everybody who listened to all of these piles, and I hope that you have a wonderful full moon harvest. Love from Haylee.